लिटरली गांड से गोल निकाला था ब्रूनो ने. दैट वाज आल्सो अ स्क्रैपी विन. हाँ,
Yeah.
बट ठीक है, विन
In
इज अ
fact,
विन. सो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू द फर्स्ट नाइन पॉडकास्ट. सॉरी फॉर कमिंग लेट बिकॉज बोलने के लिए कुछ था ही नहीं. टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, पहले मैचेस में हारते ही जा रहे थे. सेम टाइप का कंटेंट पे क्या ही बात करेंगे.
The
So now
performances kept us speechless.
apparently we are most informed team in the Premier League.
Woohoo! Shout out.
Harry Maguire.
Yeah, Harry Maguire, man. What a redemption.
Good.
Nice.
I mean,
Beautiful.
it's good that somebody from the team has that fighting spirit, especially when we all wanted him gone to West Ham, but thankfully he's repaying us now.
लुटन का मैच देखा क्या पूरा? I'll be honest, मैंने
Hmm.
most of the match miss किया because it was A, दिवाली का तैयारी था, B, बोरिंग था बहुत.
हाँ, मैं भी बोलूंगा. I actually just saw the highlights. मतलब थोड़ा बहुत highlights मैंने देखा. थोड़ा बहुत as in like the clippings of the match and not the full match, of course. But I think कुछ ज्यादा था नहीं दिखाने के लिए भी, I guess. Okay, so I think those highlights were the exact what the match was all about. But yeah, we got an important win. I think that's great. Against Luton Town, yes, but an important win. So
We are grinding out results. That is the
key. Yeah.
good
So
part. And
I
we are
watched
what?
the full game. I watched the
Okay.
full game, and I actually thought. But first of all, caveat: this was Luton Town, so let's not make too much of this. But I thought United played well. They attacked very well. We had
Okay.
the ball for most of the game. We created quite a few chances. I think some 10-15 shots were there. And again, the issue that has hurt us throughout the season, which is conversion, that was the issue, and that you can see in the scoreline also. We should have at least scored 2-3 goals. There were clear cut chances. There were 3-4 very good saves by their keeper. But again, we should be scoring those. If you are a top team, those are the chances you have to convert. In fact, the Lindelof goal that went in was the one of the less likely ones to go in among the chances that we took. The other ones, yeah. So I thought we played well, but again, not to make too much of the win. It's a 1-0 win against a relegation contender, so not a big deal.
I think Luton and Fulham बहुत ही
Fulham
ओपन
is
एंडेड गेम्स
16th.
थे. फुलहम ज्यादा
हाँ.
ओपन एंडेड गेम था in terms of creating chances and you know वो लोग फुलहम also were taking long shots, creating lots and lots of chances. तो लिटरली गांड से गोल निकाला था ब्रूनो ने. दैट वाज आल्सो अ स्क्रैपी विन.
Yeah.
हाँ, बट ठीक है, विन
In
इज अ
fact,
विन.
actually, Luton played very well after Tahith Chong came on. Tahith Chong was like balling properly, or our
वो तो
defenders
होना ही है ना
obviously.
आजमान.
And also our defenders were not able to keep up with his pace. He
वो
was
भी होना
getting
ही
away
था.
very easily.
Obviously, यार. and their keeper obviously will save worldies. एक दो तो निकाला ही देगा, I'm very sure.
Yeah, but you know what? I think I'm now seeing a pattern where any team that comes to play United, especially at Old Trafford, I think now Old Trafford has started inspiring the opposition team more than Manchester United itself. Because I have not seen in a long time, I guess, wouldn't say long time. I mean, I keep going back to Fergie days, but जो एक होता है ना खौफ जो पहले होता था कि
That
ओल्ड
is
ट्रैफर्ड
gone,
जा
यार.
रहे फक नहीं बट
वो
बीच
gone
में
है.
भी हुआ था यार लास्ट wasn't it last season that Old Trafford was actually a fortress or
हाँ,
something like we were
after
pretty well.
Brighton loss, we didn't lose any match at
Yeah,
Old
that's what.
Trafford till this season. Brighton only defeated us.
Yeah, I mean you could say it's a long time also since last season. I mean it
हाँ,
feels
but
like an
अभी
eternity.
अभी
But
सब लोग
अभी
हार
का
के
तो
back
पूरा
है.
हाँ but that's what is happening in the sense कि like ये season में I think now the pattern has set where any team like see of course now a good chunk of the season has happened, right? So यहाँ तक, I mean, it's now we are in that part of the season where the tonality for the rest of the season is probably setting in, which is a very dangerous precedent given that Old Trafford used to be pretty solid for us last season, and also the fact that कोई भी मतलब we've had this continuous run of games at Old Trafford. अगर Old Trafford में ये हालत है तो away games में क्या होगा?
Away games, we had a shit record last year.
I hope that away record is as good as our home record from last season, but we can only guess, I guess.
I'll bring it back to the game. One thing that United did a lot during the game, which was impressive from those players. So every time we would pass into the midfield, because Eriksen got injured, McTominay started playing a little bit deeper. McTominay would pass it back to Maguire, and Maguire would immediately switch it to the left hand side to Garnacho, who would generally find
Diagonal,
space.
जैसे वो डालता है.
The diagonal that Maguire is actually very good at. He would immediately put it on that end, and Garnacho would start running in. And then you also had Sergio Reguilon, who would start overlapping. So we created many chances using that pattern of play, and I thought it was quite cool. And obviously, Garnacho and Reguilon were two very good players for us, and obviously Maguire also. Who kept the clean sheet.
Also, I read somewhere, I mean, you can give more insights on that, but I also read that the Dalot and Rashford combination was somehow working better than at least the previous games.
I didn't
It
read it.
was decent, but like the thing is, see, the bar for a right wing has been very low this whole season. Anthony has been pretty much useless, pretty much non-existent. Even with all the controversy also going around him, he hasn't been on his game at all. So it is like you are replacing a non-existent player with a player that at least is there, right? So
Yeah.
by that
But
logic, it was,
even
yes, better.
even pitting Rashford's other performances versus this one, TK, where he was playing a more of a central, I mean, he was playing more centrally, let's say. I mean, did it do him well when he was playing on the other wing? Generally, I think he plays in, I mean, I don't know what's happened to Rashford this season, but I just
This
felt
happened.
even looking at the highlights.
This happened.
वो भाई उतना मीम बन गया, but in any case, like, I just felt from the highlights that he was somehow more effective at his crossing, or maybe, like, I mean, it
No,
was
so
just the highlights, but
so
People have been saying. Sorry, continue. Azan.
no, so he played occasionally. If you like, there were many other players who were better than him. I would say at least 7-8 players in the game in our team were better than Rashford. But I thought he was better on the right wing this week, particularly because A, Luton is not as strong of an opponent, and B, because he was not trying to do his usual I'll go this side and shoot. He was playing very direct. He was playing very basic and very direct. He would get the ball, he would try to get it in as a cross. In fact,
okay.
there was one early chance that we had in which he made a very good cross, slight deflection, but a good cross, and it reached Hoyland, and he almost had a tap in, but the keeper made a terrific save then. But again,
Okay.
I think it was
Obviously.
because he was not trying to go left right. He was just getting the ball and trying to put a cross in. He was playing direct football.
Chalo, at least something. I mean, as long as that's improving his confidence.
At
अगर
least he is
basics तक stick करे, rather than going for the fancy.
वो फैंसी ही जाता है. I have seen his highlight reel. He was doing ऐसा step over, trying to cut into defenders in their D, and they stopped the ball immediately. And it was a counter-attacking moment. Thank God it didn't happen. But again, it's not. People have been saying that Rashford's form has gone downwards because Luke Shaw's injury. But then my counter argument to that would be a good player who was in form shouldn't be
Dependent on.
on your full back.
Also, Luke Shaw has been injured before. This is not the first time Luke Shaw is getting injured.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
इंजरी से तो आई
रैशफोर्ड का
मीन
है, रैशफोर्ड का है। अब थोड़ा इरिटेट होने लगा है मुझे, बिकॉज़ उसका हर अल्टरनेट सीजन ही प्लेज नाइस, एंड दैट इज़ द प्रॉब्लम।
Yeah, and the
yeah.
other
He's
thing
not a youth
is
guy anymore. He has just turned
he's
20.
exactly I was going to say this. Like he's 26, he's not a youth player. We are still treating him as this youth project prodigy
हाँ,
जो man
one for the
bonded है.
future. No, this is the time that he needs to perform. और वो again we'll talk about Rashford when we'll talk about new ownership that is going to happen. But यार पता नहीं यार. Let's see. I will not judge any player unless and until our full fit 11 is playing. Now, people have been criticizing Eric Ten Hag, but they दो injuries Spurs को and they have started crumbling. दो injuries और किसको हुआ था? Uh, two more players. किसी को तो injuries हुआ था. And they have started struggling. So people need to understand. I think we have had 20 injuries, and it's not even
Eriksen
half.
got injured in that match.
Hoyland also pulled his hamstring, apparently.
Eriksen, Hoyland both have
Both have been ruled out.
ruled out for
That
the Denmark.
I think international break came at a right time.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
I mean, पता नहीं. So I have been following Petters, who has been very accurate with his information. He has been saying this, that I think we discussed this in our previous podcast. United does a lot of running work during the week.
Yeah.
It's of a tactical work during the week, and बाकी का टीम्स टैक्टिकल वर्क करता है और सिर्फ रनिंग वर्क वीकेंड्स को करता है. So that is the
This muscle strain issue, I think all the other teams are facing this. I think this is coming down mainly
Newcastle.
because
Sorry, Newcastle. Newcastle is
Newcastle,
also struggling.
Arsenal has Odegaard out. Arsenal has Party out, but that could be for different reasons.
Timber
I don't
out.
know.
Timber has been gone
Timber
long
has
back.
been out for a long time. Tottenham has two players out now. Chelsea has many players out. I think three or four injuries of main players are
Chelsea
Chelsea's
have
there.
a
players are
lot of
coming back.
players
Bro, Chelsea's players
to
are coming back
replace.
and they look scary, to be
Sheff-
very honest.
Sheffield's
Chelsea are in good
almost.
form.
We'll talk more about Chelsea.
I
I have
mean,
more to say on Chelsea.
from
Yeah,
the
I'll
we
ask
last
should.
that
We
match.
game
should.
also.
Mm,
But United guy, let us conclude that just by
yeah.
discussing one question. I want to ask you: do you think 4 out of 5 wins in Premier League and that one loss that is there, that is also against City,
City.
this
Hmm.
is cause for optimism and this could probably mean that the slump is over?
Nope.
Um,
I mean, I don't have. I mean, it's as simple as just look at the scoreline and just look at the performances. We got thrashed 3-0 versus City. TK, I mean, by far the one of the best teams out there. Of course, I mean, barring the last match day and all of that stuff, that was an outlier. But City is one of the strongest teams that you can have in the Premier League. Uske against we got thrashed. Chalo, TK, we were not expecting a draw out of it in any case. But even in the wins that we are scraping through. It's good to get the numbers. It's good to get the points, but it's not an indication that we're going anywhere. I mean, we shouldn't be. I know we just talked about the injury crisis, and we are struggling there. But the I mean, the squad is just not gelling enough to even get a decent 2-0 win or maybe a 2-goal win. I mean, I would expect in a struggling United side should at least be winning 2-0 against the likes of Luton Town, or maybe against or
they
maybe
have
a
high
2-goal
expectations.
win versus. Nick, that's what I'm saying,
they
right?
हम
So
लोग ने ड्रॉ किया
it's not
लिवरपूल के
indicative.
साथ. Liverpool is playing with their starting 11 team. Correct me if I'm wrong. लूटन इतना हल्के में नहीं लेना चाहिए किसी भी टीम को, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, फ्रॉम अ यूनाइटेड पीओवी. Also,
Yeah,
if
that
you
was
ask
also
me,
Luton home game, now I think so, right?
they also
That
have
wasn't
a
at Anfield.
rivalry. They also have a rivalry, na? Old rivalry, Luton and Liverpool. I am not sure. So if you ask me, my opinion, maybe the slump is over, maybe not. We can't be sure because A, we are not playing with our full potential squad, and B, हमेशा हर एक मैच में स्टार्टिंग 11 चेंज हो रहा है. So How can they gel up? How can they know each other better, positionally, tactically? That is also the factor why we are grinding out results like 1-2, 1-0, 2-1 SA. So
But
this will be
as okay, I get that point, but I would also put forward this point कि यार देख, um, forget about the current. ठीक है, I understand our current form and our current struggles. My expectations for this season were based upon the performances and the way we finished last season, right? See, I
Mhm.
understand, and I would always give Ten Hag at least 3 to 4 years to make his own squad. But I, I now that if I'm giving him the time, I can't settle, or maybe like I can't. I can't lower my standards, right? एंड व्हेन आई से कि अब 2-0 चाहिए यार, ठीक है, इंजरी क्राइसिस है, फाइन, ये नहीं हो रहा है, लाइक द स्टार्टिंग 11 इज नॉट देयर, देन अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज हैपनिंग ना. अभी 1.5 सीजन चलेगा, तुमको समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि बॉस इतना इंजरीज क्यों हो रहा है. तो आई मीन माय पॉइंट इज कि लाइक लुक, it's not about the team that is on the pitch, it's about the team overall. Like, I mean, it goes down to the staff, it goes down to almost everything that the club does in order to make sure that the fielding 11 are proper, right? So I think now the time is to keep patience, of course, but it's not a time to stop demanding. राइट.
okay,
आई वुड
okay,
स्ट्रिक्टली स्टिक टू दैट. आई मीन ठीक है, स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं, ओके फाइन, बट यार ऐसे भी स्ट्रगल मत करो कि भाई होम गेम है अगेंस्ट अ रेलीगेशन टीम एंड यू आर स्क्रीपिंग अ 1-0 win. I am not going to take that. I'm sorry, I am not optimistic at all. We are just being lucky that we are, and of course at times you need luck, but other than luck, I mean, I don't see any other way that the team can win apart from luck.
okay. So
So
हाँ बोल बोल.
नहीं, मेरा हो गया.
नहीं, Azman
Good
wanted to
point.
say
Like
something.
अच्छा.
I wanted to say just a couple of things. एक था कि जो injury crisis that is there. I don't think so. That is a United specific problem. I think that is a larger problem with the
Fair.
footballing calendar and how it's designed now, and also with the World Cup now happening last year. I think that strain is now showing up in a lot of other players, not
Hmm.
just United.
Hmm.
United maybe are the extreme end of it, but there are many players who are facing it. And
Hmm.
the other thing is, uh, irrespective of how shit we are on the pitch, we are still only 7 points off the top, 6 points off the second place team. So it's good to get these 1-0 wins, because even if we
आगे जाके
start
काम आएगा.
improving now, yes, even if we start improving now, you're not that far off from the top four. So you still
Correct,
are
correct.
within a reachable gap. It could have been
Also,
very worse. That is what I'm saying.
correct, correct. Also, this will be a key factor for us. Maybe this form we will take. The momentum will be there till the new year, I hope. And there will be a new optimism when the January transfer window will happen, and we will discuss that why. But uh, to counter your point, Buggy, last year the squad which Ten Hag had, he overachieved with this
True.
squad. He
Yeah.
overachieved, and that is the reason why we were expecting so many things this season. But anyway, injuries have ruined. But on the better side, अभी तक कुछ खराब नहीं हुआ है. We still can catch, and the best part is our main players will be coming back very soon.
Okay, I get it. I mean, see, but even before, you know, um, the call, I was looking at the standings and I was just thinking, I was like, यार देख, ये वाला जो standings है ना, that is correct. And it's true that, of course, like I would definitely want to have those crappy wins, right? Rather than getting into draws and all of that stuff. But the larger
Yeah,
point I'm trying to make is, yeah, yeah, it is not the Premier League from 6 years, 7 years back where we had a settled top four. Okay, so now the league is such na कि you can't afford to slip, because the thing is there is no time to breathe in this league, right? अगर न्यू कैसल का भी स्लंप, यूनाइटेड का स्लंप आ रहा है, ये आएगा. अगर यूनाइटेड इज गोइंग टू पिक अप फॉर्म, न्यू कैसल विल आल्सो पिक अप फॉर्म. Arsenal will also pick up form, right? And
That
sometimes
you
some
can't you
teams,
can't say for sure,
I'm
no?
just saying, I'm just like, see, I can't be at the mercy of other teams' performances. That can't be the highlight of my season. Correct. My point is, I mean, we should have as many. You can't control everything, but you should have at least those things in control that you can. And ठीक है, I mean, I am just a bit pessimistic because somehow I just feel that we can do better. And somewhere, यार ये जो continuous injuries जो हो रहे, they are kind of irritating me to that extent. कि यार, what is happening? Why are we just not having a settled four? Because even the recruitments that we've gotten this season, specifically to address these some of the issues, let's say, ठीक है, जैसे अमराबाद का भी एक आया था. I mean, they are not performing. So, like, what the hell do we do at this stage? तो मतलब, like, वो एक है ना, like, वो, I don't want to get into that zone where, like, it's just us getting those crappy wins, but then we knowing that whenever a City or a Newcastle come in, we're gonna get thrashed.
Can I
Let's see.
interject and
Will be
just
playing
pose one
Newcastle.
point?
Yeah, I've made my point.
I would just want to make one point on the bit about United overachieving last season. I think it was purely down to Marcus Rashford scoring 32 goals. I don't.
Hmm.
I personally, very personal opinion of mine. I don't think Marcus Rashford is a 32 goal striker. Uh, that was, I feel that was like major outperformance on his part. And if you see, he had 32 goals, and who was the second highest scorer? Bruno
Bruno na.
Fernandes with 13, and Anthony Martial with 13 goals. These two are our second top scorer. So clearly the difference was Rashford outperforming. उसके बाद जेडन सैंचो था, by the way. जेडन सैंचो was
अरे
our
मत निकाल मत जाने दे.
वो
सुनना
मैं
है
सुनना नहीं
मैंने.
चाहता. The only time Jadon Sancho का नाम अगर आना चाहिए is when
वो
he's
लिवरपूल वाले गेम में.
linked when he's linked to the Saudi transfer. बस मेरे को वही सुनना है. Jadon
He
No,
Sancho
I'm
is
का.
just
linked
saying
apparently आज ही.
this issue was there last season also, where we were not converting enough, although Marcus Rashford was converting. There was one outlier, and this season he's completely gone for some reason. Better if he
He's
comes back.
overthinking यार बहुत.
He's
Anyway, the
still
only
digesting his
saving
own
grace
performance from last season.
maybe the only good thing about yesterday's match was Mason Mount. Bro, क्या काउंटर प्रेसिंग है वो बंदे का.
अच्छा,
He
I
was
I
was
very
guess.
good off the ball. No, he had a
yeah
very
he
good off
was
the ball performance. But like personally, I would want him to do a little bit more on the ball stuff also. But I think off the ball
see
he did very well.
he's also a dead ball specialist, and right now only Bruno is taking the free kicks and all. I think Mason Mount should also take one or two, either corners, dead balls, whatever.
Maybe confidence issue. Maybe free kicks you take when you're very confident. Maybe right now
क्या
he's not in a phase.
जब भी क्राउड में ही मारना है कॉन्फिडेंस रह के, तो लो बंदे को, जो बंदे को कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है उसको दे दो. एटलीस्ट मारेगा तो उसका कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा ना. वो
नहीं, but
स्टेटफोर्ड एंड पे ही मारता है ब्रूनो.
it's good. I mean, I did not watch the match to see the off the ball stuff from Mason Mount, but
Yeah,
I
it's
think
okay.
that's good.
And until and unless United is winning, I'm okay. I'm okay. Absolutely
Ha,
fine.
that's fine.